have proof that the Red Sea crossing happened. Like proof, not just artifacts on the bottom. We had those. We had chariot wheels on the bottom of the Red Sea. We had all these cool little artifacts. But the coolest thing that I saw is the shoreline. If you've ever watched the Ten Commandments movie, they had that big pillar of fire that came down. That's mentioned in the Bible, this pillar of fire. I just pictured these flames coming down. But when you go to that shoreline where it's documented to happen, the entire shoreline is melted sand. And it takes about 3,000 degrees or more to melt that sand. And it's evenly melted. You can almost see like footprints. There's stones infused in this melted sand. This is amazing. You don't hear about it. If it was a proof of evolution, it would be in every single textbook. But it's a proof that there was an exodus, like we're having today. You're talking about the exodus, people leaving the cities. We have
never supposed to see this, as world-ending biblical structures are coming out of hiding, and everything we know about religion and science is all changing. People were terrified after archaeologists in Turkey found archaeological evidence showing proof that the Bible is actually real, and that the world could face a supernatural biblical ending with the date potentially already set. The Bible mentions one of the last locations Noah's Ark was left in was Turkey, and after archaeologists went there, they were terrified to discover a 515 feet creepy structure that was identical to the Bible's Ark that was buried deep underground. With the terrifying 3D scan done on site, researchers were able to see an actual human-made boat under the ground, with marine equipment and food found inside, as well as several other internal measurements lining up exactly to what the Bible details, and even showing artifacts like rivet and petrified deck timber, which are only materials that were used to build boats in ancient times, making people terrified at how this would be documented otherwise in the Bible before scientists even knew this boat existed.
Shalom, shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakadash, Yahweh being the true name for Heavenly Father, Yahushai being the name for His only begotten Son, the world ignorantly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, that taught us the truth and will well. And salutations to you, hopeful elect, person is truth and all sincerity. This is Brother Yahushua. Now let's the spirit power help us, Yahushai. And this lesson is going into how the Bible, the scriptures are very real, and the Lord is bringing out more and more evidence proving His word is true. Every day, man. We're seeing so many artifacts being unearthed and coming out. They're using their scientific instruments to discover certain things that are written within the scriptures. And it's amazing to see, man. When you start digging, you'll find out all the proof that you need, but ultimately, a lot of us haven't seen a lot of these evidences, is these hardcore, sound scientific evidence, but we still believed anyway, and those are the people that the Lord is truly dealing with, is going to bless, because they had that really strong faith without needing to see, to believe. But if you need to see something, this is a couple things that came out that you can see. This is my first time hearing about the melted sand part. Where the Lord sent fire from heaven, to block the Egyptians from getting to the Israelites when he parted the sea. He sent a wall of fire there. And so I didn't know that shoreline, has the evidence of the melted sand there. There's just so much, man. There's so much. Last year I first came across the information of them discovering all the chariot wheels at the bottom of the Red Sea, where all those Egyptians got crushed with the waves, when the sea parted, the Lord closed it back up on top of the Egyptians, and there's all of those armies, equipment their stuff is still down there at the bottom of that sea, man. It's just been coral reefs have grown over it to where a lot of people didn't notice it, but they x-rayed it and you can see all the shapes of the chariot wheels and stuff like that. And they got swords down there, weapons, all sorts of things, man. Even the story of Joseph, that is found in hieroglyphs. You can find that. It's just Esau messed with different timelines and translations with the hieroglyphs, but you can read about the tangible proof of Joseph's life in Egypt and his accomplishments during the same empire that ruled when they, I believe they had his name, instead of calling him Joseph, Imhotep. Imhotep. When you look him up, that is Joseph. You know, when you start digging into the history, it all lines up, man. Everything lines up perfectly. The word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is 100% real and truth, man. On top of that, the prophecies, is the most powerful evidence right there. You know, the prophecy of the mark of the beast, that's here. That is here and evident. You know, these things are written of thousands of years ago, but you can see them today. And it's amazing, man. I also had a couple scriptures that come to mind when coming across, you know, videos like this. And I love seeing this type of stuff, man. This is the book of Psalms 85:11. It says, truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven. Right, truth shall spring out of the earth, you know. So everything is going to come to light. Everything's going to come to light, man. You know, even the evidences of the flood, that can be seen. When they find all these dinosaur bones in different layers, you know, in the sediment, you pay attention to that, what that is flood damage. You know, it wasn't no damn asteroid that wiped them out, man. You know, and by the way, a lot of those animals and lizards and creatures, they do exist on certain parts of the planet. Places that Esau can't even fully get to. You know, but this stuff is out there, man. You know, there's something called the I think the hydro theory or something like that. I forget the name of it, but basically there's evidences of the flood happening when water, you know, burst out of the earth up into the atmosphere and caused the flood, man. And it rained from the skies and from the water that burst out of the earth that flooded the whole planet, that caused that massive flood. There's so much evidence that there was a worldwide flood, and it's even documented in other countries all over the world. They have stories passed down of a cataclysmic flood that wiped out everybody. You see, and this stuff is coming out, man. It's being exposed. It's beautiful. You know, even documents of the Lord's chariots, the angels, the heavenly angels coming. You know, you do some enough research, you're gonna see a lot of that stuff was seen in artwork and things like that with the chariots that have been coming around. So, hey, man, Lord is beautiful, and He does everything perfectly and meticulous, done a certain way. You know, and for that ark to still be preserved, that's a token of what not to do. And that was a token for the wicked of what not to do. All the wicked things, the earth, you know, became totally evil, perverse, you know, and the Lord wiped out the whole planet and spared 8. You know? And the boat is still, you can still see the boat, man, the evidence of it. That's amazing, man. On Mount Ararat. It's still right there, over there in Turkey. You can still see it. The perfect dimensions and everything that lines up. What are the chances of that? The Lord made sure that He preserved that to where later in the future, when people are trying to debunk the scriptures and say, oh, this is and that, this and that, hey, it's right there in your face. What you got to say against that, man? What you got to say against that? Right there. You know? This is the book of Psalms 119, 160. It says, thy word is true from the beginning, and every one of thy righteous judgments endureth forever. Right, man. And that was a righteous judgment with the cataclysmic flood. That was a righteous judgment when He parted the Red Sea and you know, sent that fire from heaven to block them Egyptians. Those judgments, they have endured forever. You can see it, man. You know, you can see the evidence of Sodom and Gomorrah still today. You go over there in that land, there's balls of sulfur all over the place. From when the fire rained down from heaven. You can see it, and the shit's still extremely flammable and toxic to the skin if you pick it up. It still burns today. And there's hundreds of thousands of evidence of all that destruction all over the place, man. All over the place. You know, you can go over there in that land, in that region, land of Israel, and line up to all the different things that happen within the scriptures, all the stories, certain locations. You can go see it, man. You can go see the battlefield where David slew Goliath. All that stuff is there. You don't have none of that in any of these other world religions, man. There's no evidences of none of this bullshit that they, from their false gods. But the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, it stands. So you have no excuse to not believe. You're forcing yourself not to believe. But why? Because you have these people that are overly selfish, that set up these selfish ass players and you know, carnal ass players of wanting money or something like that, or somebody they know dies. Oh no, there must not be a God because this terrible thing happened, or things didn't go my way, so he must not exist. You know, no, it doesn't work that way. There's too much out there to prove that the Lord is real, man. And what's also real is his return. He is coming back. Because that's written a part of in the Bible too. We haven't seen his return yet. So if it says that sky's going to crack and the Heavenly Father's coming back and he finna judge this earth with fire, best believe that's going to happen. If everything else happened, you can see evidence of the flood. You can see Noah's Ark, you know. You can see when we got delivered out of Egypt. You can see the sand had been melted over there. You can even go over there in a region where Moses went to the top of the mountain. That mountain is still burned from the Heavenly Father's chariot being there, man. The whole half top of the mountain burned, scorched. It's not no volcano. What scorched that top of that mountain like that? You could even see the evidence where the spring of water came out the rock when he, you know, worked that miracle. That's still there. The evidence of that is seen. There's so much, man. So much. You know? This is the book of John 17 and 17. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. Right, it's the truth, man. The scriptures are real. There's no doubt about it in my mind at all. Okay, nobody tell me otherwise that the Lord doesn't exist or something like that, man. Anybody can convince me that shit. Nobody should be able to convince you of that. You know, I've seen personally things within the heavens, man. Seeing chariots, things that literally just make you hit the floor and wonder if you're fucking dreaming or not. They're real, man. I've witnessed, you know, miracles and brothers being healed, and hey, the testimonies and the spiritual, highly spiritual things taking place. It's amazing, man. It really is. This is the book of Revelation 22 and 19. It says, if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Yahweh shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book. Right, man. This is why the judgment is so harsh of not changing up the word. But the word has stood still and is standing firmly, you know. We got these scriptures, you know, King James Version Bible. There's a few other versions out there, but everything still stands 100% on point. And because it's been on point, we're able to line it up through history, and we find artifacts like that proves everything in this Bible to be true. You know? So what they're doing right now is they're trying to work on, you know, banning the Bible, things like that, because all this Momo agenda that's out there, there's demonic agendas, you know, and ultimately the Bible's so powerful, it's actually exposing a lot of these elites' plans, because their plans are already written what they would do, you know, and they weren't able to properly interpret the scriptures and know that their plans is written up in there like that. So they're finding out, you know, they're getting exposed, and they're finding out that, you know, they got harsh judgment coming that they don't like. So now they want to work towards banning the Bible and stuff like that. So get this message while you can, man, and believe. Believe. You got to have belief, man. You got to have faith in these scriptures being 100,000% true and real. You know? So this is just a quick lesson on that. I came across a couple of those Instagram clips, you know. Lord's will is this lesson's edifying, and Lord's will, it's a faith boost as well, you know, sharing that quick little footage that I showed you. Take some time to go research some of these things that I just mentioned in this lesson too. Look up Imhotep and see his history, and that empire that happened. You can see it lines right up with the scriptures, with Joseph, you know, and the 12 tribes and how they got over there, and the feats that took place there. You can see more evidence of the great Exodus, of us being delivered out of Egypt. You see lots of evidence of the flood. There's just so much out there. When you take the time to just sit there and look and learn, it boosts your faith. And that's what you want. You need your faith increased. Believe, man. With that, I'm going to close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, Natasha's truth and will well. And salutation to you, hopefully, pushing this truth and honest sincerity. Shalom.